Hello everybody! Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Monster Hunter World. In the last episode, we made ourselves a new hammer, explored the Wildspire Waste a little bit, and fought a bear off. This episode is going to be strictly about side quests today. Which, if you just want to skip to the story progress, then you're more than welcome to. That is the next episode that I will upload. That is if you're watching this
Hi.
after the series is all gone up. Just making the daily preparations, you know, normal stuff that people do before hunts. Potions, gotta get those. And it looks like we're good. Now you notice that I have a new weapon on my back today. Today we're going to be using the dual swords. Dual swords are another one of my personal favorites because of how quick you can be with them. And the fact that you can deal a bunch of damage. You interested in bulking up the canteen? All you have to do is sign up for and complete the quests. Take care of those and we'll get the menu buffer than a rat. Zhang's biceps. Slay 7 Kajau, I think, and Vespoids. So yeah, that'll be interesting. Again, I should really preface this by saying no story progress will be made in this episode. I always like to get a attack buff with weapons like hammers and dual swords because you want to deal as much damage as physically possible. Although this is a gathering quest. And here we are. Now this time it's a little bit different because we're gathering materials instead of slaying monsters. Now, the cool thing about this game, I don't know if Generations did this or Double Cross did this, but I want to say 4 Ultimate didn't do this, although I might be wrong, is now you have specific item patches that will grant you quest-specific items. So we're looking for gourmet shroom caps this time around. And instead of being in like a regular mushroom gathering point,
If you're clever, you can use
it'll
the slinger to distract monsters.
be in its own unique gathering point as well. Now I don't realize this right away, but you can actually use your scout flies and mark a point of interest on the map. So say you're having trouble finding the unique mushroom gathering points. You can just press the touchpad and then find a location of interest that you want, and then using the or pressing the R, I think it's R3, yeah, R3. R3, you can set a waypoint and your scout flies will automatically do that for you, which I think is a feature that Monster Hunter sorely needed to make gathering quests more efficient. Because in previous Monster Hunter games, you would spend like an upwards of 10 or 20 minutes just trying to complete a gathering quest, which I think I still do here, but they're easier to find this time around. And another good change that they made to these gathering quests is that instead of walking all the way back to camp and then delivering the unique quest item to the item box, the quest just ends right there. There's no delivery box anymore. Once you fulfilled the requirement, the quest just ends. which just saves on time a lot. I love all the little attention to detail in the ancient forest, and see? Right there, a unique mushroom colony. Sometimes you won't get the mushroom that you need, but if you just keep gathering, you'll eventually get it.
Perfect. You've got the materials you need. I'll mark where you found these on the wildlife map.
She'll also do that too. But your main bread and butter for these gathering quests will be the scout flies. That, combined with the increased gathering speed, really makes time fly fast. Anyways, since I don't have very much to talk about, it's just gathering stuff, I'm going to speed up a little bit. Or I'll just see you when I have the mushrooms gathered. Alright, That took longer than expected. You can see there 15 minutes just gathering mushrooms. That was a little bit overkill. But I picked a relaxing song for you guys that I made a remix of earlier. It's the Crash Pirate Frigate theme from Metroid Prime. It's down in the description if you're curious. Like any music that I use, it'll be down in the description for you guys. And with that, we get ourselves a gathering quest done, and get ourselves some improved, well, new ingredients for the canteen. So I'd say that was a nice job done.
Head to the Wildspire Waste immediately.
Yeah, that's not happening until next episode. Sorry to break your stride, Chief. Now, our next agenda, I think... Yeah. Our next agenda is to capture a Kulu-Ya-Ku, because you remember how those, biologists wanted us to do that? Or I might do the Vespoid quest first. I can't remember which it was. Check out what these guys are doing over here. If I can talk to them first. Hi, youngin', I was thinking if we analyze the surface of the evidence you found. Skipping through text so fast. Why? Why past me? The chap next door still hasn't returned. He takes his field work far too seriously. You know, it's high time our boss returned. We'll get to meet him a little later. But, I'm going... Well... Yeah, I was checking to make sure that I, read that correctly. And here's where you get the, ecological research done, like, where a monster, sleeps, what its, breakpoints are, what its weaknesses are. Which is another, cool feature about Monster Hunter World. It makes learning about the monsters all that much easier. Like, all this stuff, used to exclusively be in wikis on the internet, or through some obtuse method of acquiring the information, like buying individual books for monsters, but now it's all here in just one big database for you. Gives a brief description, gives the breakpoints, weaknesses, size, just general information that's handy to know about a monster. So I would recommend checking in there every once in a while. Another thing to note, I don't know if you might have picked up on it during the warp speed, is that we managed to get a moth swine hide, which is required for a quest, which will give us another new ingredient for the canteen. I haven't really researched that much into investigations, but oh yeah, they're actually quick hunts. Now that I remember, you only have a certain allotted time period to complete them. I think you can get more rewards from investigations. I was going to go to the canteen, but then, like, this weird NPC caught my eye, which was the apple enthusiast. I always make sure to stock up on trap tools, because you'll never know when you'll need traps on the fly. Haven't figured out how to make trank bombs, but we'll get the materials to do that soon enough, I imagine. Like, if the Wildspire Waste doesn't have... I'm trying to remember what materials you needed to make trank bombs in 4 Ultimate and 3 Ultimate. Get our standard attack buff. I just... Wrong pipe. Excuse me. Don't you just hate it when you have a drink and it goes down the wrong pipe? Whew. So the next task on the quest docket is, I think, capture Kulu-Ya-Ku? Yeah, that's what we're doing next. I thought we were doing the Bonabra one next, but... Or, excuse me, the Vespoid. That's what they're called in this game, apparently. The Vespoid quest. But no, we're actually doing the capture quest next. So, I will see you guys out in the field. Oh, and another useful tip is that you can just press, I think it was the triangle button? Yeah, the triangle button to restock all your items, so you don't have to fiddle with your inventory management as much. And with that, I'll see you guys out in the wastes. Alright, so here we are back in the Wildspire Wastes with the objective this time to capture ourselves a Kulu-Ya-Ku instead of killing it. Now, with capturing, you don't kill the monster, obviously, but you weaken it enough until it starts limping. And then you lay down a trap, and then you throw trank bombs at it to make it go to sleep. Now, with capturing, instead of getting the rewards from just killing it, you get less rewards, but you get more of a chance to get rarer rewards from it. So, for example, say you're having problems with a Rathalos. Well, with a Rathalos gem, and you really want one because the armor set requires it. And killing the Rathalos does not do justice enough for the drop rate. Speak! The drop rate for it.
You'll fail the quest
And if you capture it, you'll get a boosted percentage of it dropping.
The supplies you
Boy,
need to
I
capture
cannot
a
speak
monster
today.
are on site.
The thing is,
Make absolutely
I
sure you
recently
have
just
trained
had my
guides. That
braces
was a
off, and I have retainers on, so it makes my pronunciation kind of weird sometimes. So I apologize if I sound a little bit weird from time to time. It's because the retainers are messing up my speech. Anyways, over there is the canteen. So, if you, like, forget to eat, or you don't want to eat at base, you can just eat at the canteen that's at camp, which is another little change that I absolutely love. Because what if you forget to eat while you're out hunting? Yeah, that's not good. So it's just another safety net procedure. Precaution, I should say, not procedure, to make sure that the player has the most optimal experience while hunting. Because quitting out of a hunt because you realized that you forgot to eat just breaks the flow of gameplay so easily. And there's our mark. Didn't have to waste any time. So let's start carving. Now with the dual blades, how these work is your main bread and butter is going to be the triangle combo and something called demon mode. Now demon mode is when you press R2 and your character will kind of raise the dual blades into the air and then proceed to hold them like an assassin would. With that, you can do boosted damage and fill the meter in the top left corner. When that meter in the top left corner gets filled, you can then go to another stage of demon mode. I think that's how it works from Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate or previous Monster Hunter games. Ugh. Kulu-Ya-Ku is he just beat my head in a little bit here. But it's okay because Beavis got me with the Vigor Wasp. Now I try and knock the Kulu-Ya-Ku's rock out of its hands with the Slinger Pod, but my aim is a little bit off. See there, I just used Demon Mode. And what it does, it is increases your hit speed as well. But be mindful, your dodge animation is changed while you're in this state, and you'll be constantly consuming stamina. So it's a good idea to just constantly switch in and out of demon mode when you can, to maximize your DPS with it. Sometimes, if you whiff on a combo, you'll be locked into that combo for a few seconds, although I haven't tried rolling out of Demon Blade combos yet. It's something to try for the future. Kinda looked like the Baroth was trying to headbutt the Kulu-Ya-Ku right there. I was trying to press down, but my character went the other way instead of that. Yeah, I hate when that happens in games as well. Sharpen up. Now that we've got our blades sharpened up, let's continue pursuing our target. The Baroth was kind enough to leave us alone. Now the reason why you want to bring more than one shock trap, which I don't do here, which I really should have, is because other big monsters in the area might accidentally step in them than the one that they want in the quest. So it's just a possibility that you want to prepare yourself for, or else you'll have to quit out of the quest or just make another shock trap. If you manage to find, I think it was Thunderbug that uses to make shock traps combined with a trap tool. Look at all that damage. I cut off its feathers. Okay, that ought to about do it. So let's go ahead and put our shock trap down like she says.
Now, keep hitting it with trank bombs until the
And
in.
let's trank. That takes care of that, ladies and gentlemen. Nicely done.
You can't carve materials materials from a captured monster. However, you will receive more rewards than usual once the quest is over.
Job done. Yeah, like she said, you'll receive more rewards, and you'll also have a chance of getting rare rewards as well. Armor spheres, thunderbugs, earth crystals. Done deal. Capture novice. Capture your first monster. That was our first capture quest. Not too hard, I'd say. You just gotta watch for when the monster's weak. I'll see you when we take on our next
Head
quest.
to the Wildspire Waste immediately.
Yeah. I'll get to that eventually. So, now our next quest is going to be Vespoid hunting, which again is in the Wildspire Wastes. I'm doing these quests just to improve the canteen's food a little bit. I just decided on going to the default camp. Exterminator of the Waste. Let's get this done, shall we? I'll see you there. Back in the Wildspire Wastes again. This time our objective is to exterminate some Vespoids. Now, to do this in the previous Monster Hunter games, you would have to either be a bow gunner and use poison shots, I think, or just continually swat at the Vespoids with your weapon. But in this game, you can use the slinger to knock them out, and then carve them. Because normally they would explode when using the any weapon that isn't a bowgun. So now I'm just looking to find some Vespoids. So since I'm just looking for them, I suppose I can just cut until I find one. Alright, so I managed to find myself a Vespoid. And here I was just still using the dual blades to cut them down, but soon enough I'll figure out that you can just use the slinger to do so. Yeah, in previous Monster Hunter games it was really annoying to kill Vespoids. You'd have to spend a good couple of minutes just swatting at the air, hoping they just fly into your slashes. Not the best thing, but in this game it just makes it so much more efficient. Like, that's one thing that this game gets right, is it just streamlines everything. Like, the grind is still there and it's still fun, but it just streamlines and makes it so that you're actually using more of your time towards more of the productive things in this game. And I love that. So, since we're just hunting Vespoids, and you'll see there that I get paralyzed and knocked down. That's another thing that your feline will do for you is he'll just give you a good kick and then cure you of your paralysis. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. Since we're not doing too much here, I think this is a good time to weave in the Baroth's bio, since we didn't cover it last episode due to the fact that I didn't want you guys to be inundated with, or I should just say bogged down with information like every single episode. Alrighty then, let's get started. For today's monster, we have the Baroth. Now, the Baroth first debuted in Try, and he's been a staple monster since, I want to say, MH Gen... No. Double Cross. He's been in Portable Third and a lot of other Monster Hunter games, but the most notable appearance was in Try and 3 Ultimate. Now, the species for the Baroth is a Brute Wyvern, which Brute Wyverns are kind of dinosaur-like, or they walk on all fours. They just resemble dinosaurs most of the time, though. Now, for the stats, the habitat for this guy is the Wildspire Waste and nowhere else, because the Baroth likes deserty, hot climates. For the elements, it has none, although it does have mud and water blight. Mud in this game was changed so that it doesn't stick to you. Rather, it's more of, if you step in that area, you'll get slowed down and you'll have to move and roll out of it. So it was changed a little bit. Another element that it can inflict you with is the water blight, and that's if you get hit with the mud as it's coming out. Now, water blight, it can slow down your stamina recovery, so I would recommend bringing null berries to negate the water blight status if you're like a hammer user or a dual blades user, or just any weapon that relies heavily on stamina. Now, for the weaknesses for this guy, he's a little bit unique in the fact that he changes his weakness depending on whether his body is covered with mud, clean, or clean, or just clean. There's no third state. When he has a muddy body, he's weak to water, and when he has a clean body, he's weak to fire, or alternatively, if you just don't want to deal with the whole gimmick of him changing his weakness when he's covered with mud or not covered with mud, you can just go with ice, although ice isn't the most effective weakness that he has. But he's weakest to fire when he has a clean body. Now, for the breaks, you can break its head, you can break its forearms, and you can cut off its tail. I would recommend cutting off its tail first, because tail swipes are a little annoying, and it has a lot of reach on those. Other than that, I would say just be careful and watch out for the charges that the Baroth does. They're heavily telegraphed, so you shouldn't have as much trouble blocking them or dodging them. But if you do have trouble dodging them, I know I did when I first played Monster Hunter try, use a lance, because that will solve not only the problem of blocking or just not taking damage from the charges in the first place, but it'll also block the mud as it's coming out. Because that's another thing about the lance class of weapon. It can also block status ailment. Well, not status ailment, but like projectiles as well. It's just an all-around useful shield to use for the bear-off. Although if you do use a lance, be very mindful that once you block its charges, it does take up a fair amount of stamina. So do make sure that you manage your stamina correctly and don't get caught out in the open when you have no stamina, because that's obviously not good. So yeah, that's about it for the bear-off. Overall, I really do love this monster. For me, he was one of the classics. He was just a very memorable monster for me, is what I'm trying to spit out. Because, I fought him over and over and over until the point where I got incredibly good at doing it. And I just had so much fun with the whole thing. So yeah, that's the bear-off in general, ladies and gentlemen. As for weapons and armor, I really wouldn't recommend making the bear-off's armor, even though it looks frickin' cool. Because it's got a big weakness to fire. And one of the major monsters that we'll be fighting pretty soon uses fire as its main element. The weapons are serviceable, so go ahead and make some of those if you want. Yeah, the armor isn't as useful as it was back in
Head to the
Try because of the
wildfire
lack
waste
of the
immediately.
fire elemental monsters in the game. I mean, Marathon Runner is nice because of less stamina concerns. But with that glaring fire weakness, I just don't see the need in making it. In Try, it was pretty darn good because there weren't very many fire monsters until, I'd say, about late mid-game to just late game. But yeah, that takes care of hunting the Vespoids. I should probably check out the Vespoid armor off camera. See what that gets me. Because I know that the Vespoid armor in other Monster Hunter games was a very, very hard... Well, it wasn't hard, it was just tedious and time-consuming to obtain. Unless you were a bow gunner. So it'll be interesting to actually see what the Vespoid armor offers this time around. I think one more quest is in order for today. Let's see what
If
she's
in
got.
doubt, take a bite.
Take a look-see here. Only one more quest, which is the Pain from Games. Just another slaying quest. And this time, nothing really interesting happens. So, I think what I'm going to do for this one is, normally I would speed this up, but I was stuck on that quest for a while, because I don't want to butcher the species name, so I'm just gonna call them catfish, because they look like catfish. I think it was Gajao, if I wanted to take a stab at the pronunciation. Yeah, Gajao. I think that's what it's called. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut until I have all 7 Gijao slain for the quest. If you're curious as to where you can find said Gijao, you can find some in the more rivery areas of the Wildspire Waste. So I'd say maybe, if I can see it, let's area 10. I'd have to wager, yeah, area 10 sounds about right. I just had problems getting them to respawn after a while. So you know what? I'll just cut until I have this quest done with, since I don't have anything else to talk about for this episode. Oh boy, that was an endeavor. So I just sit around for 19 and a half minutes trying to find the Gijao that won't respawn. So after a while I just end up moving areas, and what do you know, there's like 6 or 7 of the little buggers. And you'll notice that there's another hunter that decided to join me. I didn't use an SOS flare, but shout out to Nugget Biter for helping me with this quest. I really appreciate the help, my good man. So yeah, that takes care of that. And as you can see there, it was 19 and a half minutes of me just wandering around trying to find them. Yeah, stuff like that has been reduced in Monster Hunter, but you'll still have to deal with it from time to time. Anyways, now I think would be a good stopping point for this video. So in review, we did some side questing today. We really didn't progress with the main story at all, but we did talk about the Bear-Off more in depth. We got a capture quest done today, and we got some canteen quests done today, so we have more menu options for the canteen as far as ingredients go. And in the next episode, we will be doing, as the commander says, and we'll be heading to the Wildspire Wastes immediately. This has been your host, Nightshade, and next episode of Let's Play Monster Hunter World, we'll be heading to the Wildspire Wastes, and we'll be heading back to the Wildspire Wastes, actually, and checking on that scholar that went missing. See you guys next time. Ciao.